At one point, China was so worried about its rapidly growing population, they implemented notorious family planning policies. But now its population has peaked. In 2023, India will take from China the long-held title of world's largest population. China's workforce is rapidly aging, and now they can't convince people to have more kids, leading to record low fertility rates. Together, these are major headwinds to China's economy.
There is a concern. I think the government underestimated what the one-child policy would do.
After the Chinese Communist Party took control in 1949, leader Mao Zedong encouraged the Chinese to have many children, believing population growth would strengthen the country. In a 2-decade span, China's population surged from around 550 million to more than 800 million. By the 1960s, women on average were having more than 6 kids each. Time for a course correct. In the 70s, the CCP launched a nationwide family planning program, promoting delaying marriage and childbearing, child spacing, and limiting fertility.
China had a massive population and needed to really kind of think about economic growth in the context of that demographic bubble, that demographic system.
The fertility rate plunged, but by 1980, the CCP took it even further with the one-child policy. China's fertility eventually dropped below the replacement level, and after decades of low fertility, the CCP again tried to course correct. In 2016, the one-child policy became 2, and in 2021, they upped it to 3.
They thought if we just take away the regulations, people will have more children and, we'll have a new demographic bubble growing up to help run the economy. And I think the cultural change was what the party underestimated, because people didn't immediately start having more children and bigger families. They thought actually a single child for 2 parents is the right number.
In August, Chinese state media reported the fertility rate dropped to a record low of 1.09 in 2022. The UN's median projection of China's population shows it could be cut nearly in half by the turn of the century. But it's the rapidly aging population that's of bigger concern for the economy. By 2079, there could be more people outside the working age population than in it, according to the UN's medium estimate. That's a lot of dependence for a shrinking workforce to take care of. But while that is decades down the road and China's working population is currently at its peak, there are already economic implications at play.
Most of the consumption in a modern system happens when you're in your 20s and your 30s, when you're buying cars and raising kids and building homes. Well, because of the one-child policy, the Chinese don't have much of a generation in that block at all. And since the one-child policy is now over 40 years old, we've now had a full generation of people to not have kids. And that is manifesting in the data as well.
Not only are they not having kids, there's a movement of young adults just not buying into the grind. In China, it's called the lying flat youth, where a generation rejects working long hours for little pay.
And maybe this is a vestige of the sort of cultural residuals of the one-child policy is, if you have 2 parents taking care of you and then you go off to college, maybe you're not so ambitious. Maybe you do just want to lay at home and look on social media. So there's a big demographic here that I think the government worries about that's not just about, people are not finding jobs. It's people are not wanting jobs to be the engine of the reforms as much as possible.
For June, China's urban youth unemployment hit a new record of 21.3%. As for July, that's not publicly known. China said it would suspend reporting the data mere months after it stopped publishing consumer confidence. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Simone Del Rosario.
Thanks for watching. In this time of media mistrust, Straight Arrow News is on a mission to bring you unbiased, fact-based reporting. So to make sure you get journalism that you trust, like and subscribe to Straight Arrow News below. It goes a long way in telling YouTube we're the kind of news that you want to see more of. And for all of our content, go to straightarrownews.com.